Hello all. I just wanted to take you through the entire design process that I followed for the Divine Consciousness collection. It's one of the, or not one of the, it's the longest process that I have done till date. And um, after I go through like the entire thing, we'll do some reflecting back. Also, to give you a little context, I did this particular collection for a competition, which is the Redress design competition based on the theme of sustainable fashion. And I didn't qualify for the competition ahead, but even when I started working on the project, I knew that eventually it will be part of Asian Me. So now it is, and let's go over the stages one by one, and I'll try to make it as quick as possible and meet you at the end. Stage 1. First, I took a course on sustainable fashion design by Redress to refresh and relearn the best practices and facts on creating sustainable fashion. Stage 2. I chose the theme of consciousness as inspiration and as the starting point for the collection and began collecting notes around it. Stage 3. To bring this philosophical theme into a more tangible form, I did a brainstorming exercise and circled the words which intuitively made sense to me and fitted into a theme connecting universal elements. Stage 4. Then I found images on the internet based on the words I had circled: clouds, galaxies, ocean waves. The NASA website was really interesting to look at, and it's amazing how they have created an entire gallery of space images for anyone to see. Stage 5. After finalizing and printing the images, I started tracing lines from them. The tracing technique results in a collection of patterns that can be translated onto the garment. And this is the exact stage where the concept becomes more tangible. Stage 6. While I started the process of tracing patterns, I also started brainstorming what techniques I could use in the garment making process for structure as well as on the surface. Stage 7. I chose the method of draping for silhouette structure exploration. I had earlier explored zero waste draping a little bit, so I thought maybe for this project I can give it a more fairer try and create several explorations. I started replicating the traced patterns into drapes on a half-size dress form on a rectangular piece of fabric. Stage 8. Out of the 21 drapes, I chose 9 drape forms that I wanted to take ahead in the project. Now, it was time to create the first sample, and I decided to join 4 rectangular pieces together and let the pleats and the artwork become the hero element instead of playing further with neckline, sleeves, or other parts of the garment. Stage 9. After I stitched a rough sample, I started draping it on a full-size dress form. And for the pleating pattern, I had to first draw the line structures from the chosen drapes on the paper. I had to do this one extra step because the drapes were done only on one half of the body form. And also, after stitching the side seams, the fall of the garment changed. Stage 10. As the structure of the garment was ready, I then began doing artworks that would go on the surface of the fabric. These are some of the artworks I did based on the previously traced patterns. Stage 11. Now began the fabric sourcing. Instead of buying fresh fabric from a retail outlet, I wanted an alternative source of fabric. There is so much dead stock fabric out there that buying fabric from retail outlets is making less and less sense. And then there is the fabric in alternative forms which still has life left. I visited markets that sell cut pieces of fabric from factory dead stocks and finally found the white cotton fabric that I was looking for. Stage 12. A new task that had to be resolved during this collection was looking for a new garment production house. After researching a few places, I finalized one. Stage 13. Fabric dye stage. A little more confusing stage. I wanted to naturally dye the fabric and did a ton of research around the topic, but I felt stuck in every way one could. Material, tools, timeline. I also reached out to a natural dyeing unit, but some details were not working out. I eventually just decided to take a leap of faith and paint the fabric myself based on the artworks I had done. Stage 14. I met the production unit manager, explained the design using the sample I had made, finalized the number of pieces, and finally the production started the next week. Stage 15. The dresses were now stitched and ready to be pleated. Then began the process of hand pleating the dresses one by one. This felt long while I was doing it, but after it was done, it was pretty satisfying. Stage 16. The fitting around the shoulders and sleeve still needed working. I found a really sweet lady tailor and she did the last mile of stitching. Stage 17. And finally, I did the photo shoot of this collection, which involved its own set of hurdles, but did it. Shout out to my dear friend Apurva for gracing the dresses in such an effortless and beautiful way. And here is the final reflection. Through this project, I fulfilled all my creative desires to let the creativity flow freely, to be not bounded by the outcome or response, to do as much creative handwork as possible, to do draping, and finally, to create a zero waste design. This project took a long time. To be precise, 5 months. And technically, I'm supposed to release a new collection every 3 months, but I'll let go of the fact for the sake of exercising creativity. Some parts didn't go well, some did, and I kept reminding myself that it's all part of the process. And now that the collection is out, I once heard it in a Tim Ferriss podcast episode that the release of a creation is not just sending something out for the people, but it's also a release for your soul and life. This collection was very much that for me. So many doubts, mental breakdowns, confusions, hurdles, experiments, and processes later, I have now released it.